Go.
Hello guys, my name is Colby Emerson, and this is my audience right here, and then also the the camera recorder is the one holding it. Yeah, there we go. All right, today I'll be giving you my call to action speech, which is just gonna be an effort to change maybe your mind or opinion on something, and this topic is gonna be recycling and helping prolong our Earth and making it last for as long as possible. So today I'm going to be speaking to you about just our economy's drastic change that it needs to be made with our whole world and our own economy here in the U.S., but mostly on a big world scale because this is an effort that everyone has to contribute to, not just one place or one person. But anyways, some of the main facts that I have for this case are that 9/10 of like the whole entire world do not recycle, and actually the U.S. is one of the only places that recycles in the whole world, other than various places in Europe. But we need to get better efforts to be able to recycle and be able to help and not just pollute our earth with all these trash and other materials that get into our oceans and affect all of our plants and animals that are around us. Some of the other things that will help provide this evidence for why it's important to recycle is that recycling plastic saves twice as much energy as it takes to burn it, which basically in that sense means that when we're burning trash in like a trash compactor or in these big waste fields where they just burn trash down and then put it wherever it goes next after that, it's a lot more costly effort to do that than to maybe just recycle a can and directly use that to make something else, like a different material, maybe like plastics or like cardboard or other stuff like that. The US recycling rate is about 34.5%, which is how I actually said previously, is that the US is one of the highest leading recyclers in the whole entire world, which is actually a good effort from where we live. But if you look at it on a world basis, it's not doing too well. So that's why the US is currently at 34.5%. And if we're able to get that rate up to 75%, the effect will be like removing 50 million passenger cars from the US roads, which means that all the pollutants and bad things that cars have to emit into our atmosphere would be eliminated. And it would be like it wouldn't even be there if we would have more of an effort to try and maybe recycle things or just be more tedious with how we put our trash or where we decide to put our trash for that matter. In the United States, we throw away about 2.5 million plastic bottles every year, which if you think about it, that's quite a high number. And per person, if we were to throw all of those bottles away and recycle them, we would probably save about 42,000 bottles per minute per month. So if you think about that, that's a very high number, and per person, that would definitely start to add up. There are 25 trillion pieces of plastic debris in the ocean, which if you think about that, that's just a staggering amount, and it's actually kind of sad because if you think about all the effort that we could have given before to prevent the trash from being there in the first place, then we would have been in a better place than where we are now, trying to think of efforts on how we can prevent that from happening further and making it even worse. Also, in our oceans, there are about 269,000 tons floating at the surface of our ocean, not including the stuff that is sunk to the bottom, which if you take it in all together, that's just too much trash. Like we can't be having that much trash around. We need to have better efforts to pick it up, have more people not just throw trash out their windows, or people who live by coastal cities to be more conscientious of where they're placing their trash, realizing that it could end up going into the ocean and harming different animals and even our just everyday living circumstances, which in the long run won't help us what's the word I'm looking for? Help kind of keep our world like running and lasting longer than maybe it would be if we didn't allow trash to just kind of be thrown around recklessly always. An estimated 80% of all glass containers recovered from recycling are remelted in furnaces, which that's actually a great effort from us. Because most things when people think about recycling are probably glass products more than maybe like plastic bottles and other things of that sort. Straws you can also recycle. You can also recycle shoes, different clothes, just a lot of different things, everyday necessities that you use you can recycle. And we've been really good at recycling glass, and about 80% of all glass, like I said, actually has been used to make new glass containers. Which, thinking about that, glass containers are something that we use on an everyday basis, and it's something that maybe we use every day. So in doing that, I think that the effort in us trying to recycle glass is actually very good on our parts. But like I said, we need to work on other things as well. A few more things that I want to talk about before wrapping this up. Let me switch that real quick. All right. The majority of the 4 million tons of junk mail that Americans receive annually ends up in landfills. So, a lot of the junk that we receive, just maybe like through mail or just things that we pick up just on the daily, we end up just throwing it out and away into garbages where they go really nowhere, and the stuff just kind of doesn't really be used, and then it's just kind of waste that is not even useful in the first place. So, in saying that, I just don't think that us doing that is really helping our economy or the world as a whole in general. So we got to also be more conscientious and better of that as well. And then the last important fact I have right here is for every 1 ton of paper that's produced, roughly 390,000 gallons of oil is used to make it, which that is such a great number. And if we could get that down and maybe not produce that much paper, think about every day you go using a piece of paper and you use it just carelessly and don't actually use the paper for its intended use, and you just kind of throw it out. You're throwing a piece of paper out that could have been used for something useful, and it's just not really being put to anything except for waste in the end. So that's why I think when you're going every day using a certain item or something, you just have to stay conscious about it and realize that whatever you're using it for, make sure it has a purpose and that you're not just throwing it off to the side and causing it to accumulate in all the waste that we have in our planet. Thank you very much, and that was my speech, which was a call to action about recycling. Thank you.